So Ishtar buff kind of changes how some people might think about farming. Her buff is way better and way more fun than the idea I had was just like put a 10% on this short cooldown skill and just make something happen from that. Would that have been like okay? Maybe. But would it have been fun? No. The like just slapping a 10% wouldn't be fun on this. Forcing your DPS to be able to crit every single wave of the farming that matters, that's a completely different story. That is a fun buff, and I'm happy to talk about it. So, Ishtar, good base attack, 12.2k. It's not super high, but it's not low either. HP, almost 14k. That's a decent amount. Star weight, Sergeant, or Archer numbers, MP charge is at 0.45%, but she has decent hit counts on these arts cards, and they are in line with like other characters that have 4-hit arts cards. Zenobia being number one case, because Zenobia is an Archer too. Ishtar is literally like 2.02% off Zenobia, so good starting place. 4-hit on quick. It's not going to be the best on an Archer just because their base star gen is low, but again, high hits. She doesn't need her quick card to gen stars, but if you're doing a mighty chain, hey, probably gonna help. But that is going to be your prerogative whether you want to do mighty chains or just Buster Brave chains. You're probably gonna just swap depending on the node, but Ishtar is just like this buff just makes it so she can handle pretty much any Archer node out there. Like better than Musashi, better than MHX, simply because you know you're gonna have her cards when you actually need them, not in the first wave. Because let's be honest, literally any other character other than CL, other than you Olga Marie, they're gonna get fucked on this. And like even you Olga, I'm pretty sure that's only for one turn. Ishtar, the way she does her farming, you can keep doing this again every turn that matters. So first skill, this is the one I shit talk all the time because I see this skill get power crept all the time. It does need a buff, but I think this the buff they gave her is just more fun. 20% attack, 20 crit damage. They can do so much more with this. They can do so. I should talk this skill so often, but it wasn't the one that got buffed, and I am a little upset about that. But I was asking for this to get buffed too, so I really can't be complaining. But I just see like 20 attack and then crit damage, and then there's usually another skill on top of it, like a star bomb, star per turn. Some of them even have light batteries. So I'm gonna bring it up again. If they want to slap a 10 battery on this, whether it's single, like just for Ishtar or party wide, do it. And then I'm pretty sure she'd be able to do black rail farming. She literally just needs a 10% enter kit, and if you are gonna be doing black rail looping, it would actually come up. Yeah, no, it would come up where that 10% like would just matter. Second skill. This was super wonky for her because you almost never got what you wanted out of it. 80% chance to ignore invincibility, 80% chance to grant invincibility. This is such a shitty survival skill because like when you needed to survive, it wouldn't work and it would give you invul pierce. Yeah. So recent buff also fixed this problem. Again, why I'm happy for the buff. Because I was super boring about it and just wanted her to like actually I was trying to get Ishtar to like get her damage up here. But technically speaking, she can already do it. Oh, wait, that's simple. Yeah, no. Technically speaking, she can already get her damage up. It's literally just do you care enough about it? And currently, how we have party costs going on, where if you're trying to bond farm a lot of characters, you're not gonna want to up your party cost. But if you're like, if the only characters you care about is bond farming, like, or the only care, yeah, I can't English. The only characters you care about are the ones you're using in their farming, you might as well just like swap to a better damage setup if it means you get more out of it. Like, I'm not saying use black rail, but like do a black rail setup with like Chloe and then still bond farm. That's more what I'm talking about. Yeah, 50 battery on top of this. You're always popping it for the 50 battery. But with the recent buff, now you'd actually pop it for the invul. So this is what it was before. 500% chance to yourself a delayed buff, and you cannot stack this. This is why like the buster farming setup is so important. You need to be popping this on turn 1, and you have to pop it on turn 2. You cannot pop them in the same turn though. But on the next turn, you get 50% attack. They're not changing that. What they added was they, at the end of the turn, no, sorry. When you activate this skill, she will put a debuff on your supports. They will not get their cards in the next turn. That is why Ishtar is able to crit every turn. And in her farming, you need to be doing that. You need to have your cooldown ready on this skill, otherwise this does not work. Like this is a use case where you're like, even outside of normal buster farming, how you need the cooldown reduction, you need this set up, otherwise the buster farming is not going to work the way you want. Do you need this skill to actually do your farming? Yeah, kind of, because a 50% attack buff is a 50% attack buff. It's just going to scale so well. The only problem is you can't double stack it, and this buff is not going to let you double stack it. They really don't want you to double stack it with Ishtar. They are doing everything in their power to make it so, okay, yeah, you can't double stack this, but we're actually going to make this skill good too. Like, even for the current buster farming system, it's like, would you prefer, like, and I mean this genuinely, would people prefer being able to double stack this buff when, like, it will mess you up, or it would have messed you up for earlier waves? It's like having, like, it's like having a 2-turn attack buff, and you pop it on the first turn. It's like, do you need, like, and you're not double stacking. It's like, do you need it that turn? No, but are you just popping it for reasons? Yeah, and are you gonna suffer for it in the last wave? Yeah. Yeah, but this is just a fun buff. I'm glad they're starting to do like card manipulation as like regular skills, because before we really only had one Mystic Code that really did it. But especially this year, we've got, like, starting with CL, we've gotten her. Who else is it? It's CL, Ishtar, and Yuoga that let you do like card manipulation like this. And last part of the buff, which, and then this one is good too. It's what guarantees these happen both times. Now, it's on a 2-turn cooldown, so yeah, make sure you pop this skill first. When you're doing your buster farming, this skill needs to come first. Now, do you need Invul and Invul Pierce when you're doing farming? No, but it's just like more you get in the habit of doing it, so you don't screw up when you're trying to do this in like a CQ. And again, this is not an exclusive farming buff. This is definitely a CQ buff. Because like, even in CQs, you still are probably using double Vitch. You're probably not using Oberon, but you're definitely still using double Vitch. And then if you can't use duplicate supports, so throwing in Merlin, probably Misgrain, Nightingale, Doman if they're chaotic evil. You're probably just throwing in other supports. Passives: 20% debuff res, 10% crit damage, 22% debuff res. Again, the Magic Essence Goddess, Magic Res Goddess Essence combo, but her Ishtar, it's not nearly as potent as it is with other characters. She does not have like the EX resist here and EX Goddess Essence to get the full 50, but 42 is far better than most other characters. You look at Berserkers, they have 0. You look at Typhon, she has negative 30. But for Typhon, she wants to be her debuff res to be that low. So it is different there. I'm not saying that's an apples to apples. That is definitely a bananas to apples situation. All right, so the pens that you want, definitely mana loading. If you ever plan on doing black rail stuff, like you're not going to be able to do it without it, unless again you are doing carding stuff. Anti-ruler, this is useless. Never unlock this. Why are you bringing Ishtar to fight a ruler? Just don't. Bring a Berserker, bring a Avenger, bring a Foreigner, literally everything but a 7-Night class servant. I would definitely say you need skill reloading to just make her turns like more impactful and just have things off cooldown when you need them to be off cooldown. Now, for her recent buff, you do not need this. I want to like be specific. You do not need this maxed out to do Ishtar's farming. You never needed it. The way you do her farming is you pop this skill. The cooldown gets reset by 2 turns, so now it will just come back on the next turn. This does not change anything, and if anything, sorry, let me rephrase it. This does not change her farming for her thirst skill, and if anything, it might mess you up because you see something come off cooldown and you press the button. That's where you really are going to have to just be aware of that. If your cooldown is super low on Ishtar, do not double pop this. It's not going to work, and now you just wasted it because now you're not going to get your skill all the cards on the third turn. Yeah, look, again, chance you just burn everything on the first turn with Ishtar, and then you are really shit out of luck. MP got buffed a very long time ago, but it wasn't one of the useless buffs where they only gave her damage. Nope, they gave her stars too. But it was still mostly damage. In Ishtar's case, she did need the stars, and with this buff, she really needed those stars, because now she's pretty much guaranteed to be, like, probably critting on every buster card every turn. Because, what is 20 divided by 2 is 10. How many stars do you need to crit? 10. What star weight does Ishtar have on her cards? Buster star weight. So yes, as long as you have the refund, you can literally just spam Buster Brave Chains with a Buster Servant that's OC, gives her more Buster. If you're able to get this up, maybe try, but you are going to have a lot of Buster already from the bitch and any other supports, so this trying to play up Overcharge, not the most impactful, but this is an Overcharge that would affect her carding for the rest of the turn. And again, getting even one level, 30% Buster is nothing to scoff at when it comes to damage. Not when you have like a bunch of things multiplying into each other, and Ishtar can get a lot of attack, more than you think. You'll get a lot of Buster, and if you're running Black Grail, you'll have the MP damage. Oberon will double it. Attack will still be the limiting factor when it comes to overall damage over Buster and MP damage, and it's mostly because, again, it's very easy to get MP damage and Buster in a Buster farming team. It's not as easy for attack. Bouncy E, 20% Buster while she's on the field, and party debuff res by 20% while she's on the field. I'm pretty sure this affects her too. And I was gonna make a Rin Jewel joke, but it's just not. It's not coming to me. Oh no, I get it. It's like it's the Ritsuka doesn't understand situation, or not situation, episode where they put like a jewel with a box to try to trap Ishtar. And it's like, yes, you'll find more jewels,
but you're also gonna fall into a lot of pitfalls trying to get all those jewels. It's Ishtar's problem with why she doesn't have golden rule. She's a goddess of gems, but she doesn't have a way to get gems. Gilgamesh's favorite joke. All right, that's it on Ishtar's buff. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.